Hey mama, I am so excited for today's episode. This is where the true personal growth geek in me freaks out. I absolutely love taking personal growth goals and breaking them up into action steps. So if you are into things like that or have no idea what you're talking about, you are in for a treat today. So one of the biggest things that I notice when I'm working with my one-on-one clients is often it's very easy for them to choose a personal growth area that they want to focus on. If you missed my last episode, I shared the different personal growth areas that busy moms can use to set goals, and I shared with you an entire list. So you can either check out the link in the video description below or just go back and check out that video. If you don't have a goal in mind right now, you may have to rewatch this episode once you do, but whatever works for you. So once you've chosen your personal growth area, the next step and the crucial step, the most important step, is to break that goal down into action steps. First, what I recommend that you do is you take your area, your personal growth area, and you take 5 minutes, 10 minutes to sort of visualize, daydream about what would it look like if you really went all in on that goal? Like what could be like the highest level of success that you could reach with that goal area? So for example, the goal that I am focused on one of the goals that I'm focused on this year in my personal growth is an abundance mindset. I have struggled with this all of my life, just, constantly feeling like there's not enough, or I'm not going to make enough money this year, or like my kids aren't having enough experiences, or, I'm not going to have enough opportunities if I choose this direction. Like it's just something that I've worked on my whole life. So I'm really going to narrow my focus in on it this year to hopefully kick it to the curb. Probably not forever, but a little more permanently than it has in the past. So abundance mindset is my personal growth goal. If I stop and think about what could be the best outcome for this, it could be sort of improving my law of attraction, right? So all of a sudden, if I am having more of an abundant mindset, then I am attracting more clients to me. I'm attracting more income to my businesses. I'm attracting more positive energy. I'm attracting more relationships. I'm attracting more experiences. Like all of those things will start to come to me if I can take action towards those goals. So what my life might look like on December 31st, 2023 might be I have exceeded my revenue goals for this year. I have gone on more vacations or had more experiences with my family than I expected to have. I've created more relationships than I anticipated at the beginning of the year. Those are all the concrete things that would be happening in my life if I improved in this one area. So don't skip this step. I know it can sometimes feel hokey when someone tells you to visualize, but you really need to think about what you want your outcome to be. So once you've determined that outcome, then the next step is to actually break it down into action steps. And on my blog this week, you will see I broke down 5 personal growth areas: physical health, career, marriage. So if you want to see this for different areas, definitely check out the blog post. I linked it below for you. But let's think about kind of that abundance mindset again and think about what the action steps could be for me as I move through this. So in a recent episode, I talked about my goal notebook. So in my goal notebook, I break down my goals into different action steps. So when I go to my abundance mindset page, I think about what could I do this month, keep it small. What could I do this month that will help me to foster more of an abundant mindset? I had to do a little bit of research for this. I gave myself 15 minutes timed on Google and Pinterest to sort of look at different resources. And I decided to focus on a personal growth guru that I have learned from in the past. I've read all of her books. I love her. Her name is Denise Duffield Thomas. She wrote The Chillpreneur and Chill and Prosper and a bunch of other books that I highly recommend. And I noticed after I had read her books that I started to sort of recognize my scarcity mindset, my lack mindset. It was reflected back to me in that book. And so I decided to start with Denise. have her sort of be my starting point for this goal. So my action steps for February are to reread one of her books. I selected one that I felt like I needed to dive into again. I also have an email that is sent to me every day. I just scheduled it on Gmail that sends me to one of her blog posts every day. So when I'm on the Peloton in the morning and I'm doing the warm-up, I will read a blog post. Denise Duffield-Thomas talks a lot about money blocks, and I think that's something that I need to dive into a little more, figuring out sort of where my money blocks come from. And again, it's not all about money. Like, I don't want you to think that I'm focused on getting more money this year, but I just noticed that scarcity mindset. So this is one of my avenues to it. So I'm going to focus on identifying my money blocks and starting to figure out what the next steps are for overcoming said money blocks. So let's take a second to review what we just did there. Step 1 was we identified the personal growth area. Step 2 was deciding what the ultimate outcome would be if I were to be successful in this area. And step 3 was to break it down into concrete action steps. So I am reading blog posts. I am rereading a specific book. I am going to be using my abundance anthem every day for this month. I have been reading it to myself in the mirror. If you are unfamiliar with my abundance mindset, I'll include a link in the video description so that you can check that out and see what that's all about. But those are my action steps for the month. I really have 3 or 4 action steps, and that's what I'm going to focus on. Now, I don't know what I'm doing in March for this personal growth area. I know it's still going to be abundance because it's such a huge topic, but I don't know what my action steps are because I haven't finished February yet. So the idea with this personal growth plan is that it gives you sort of like parameters, but you're not lockstep in like, oh, in March I'm going to read this book, and in June I have to read this book, and by July I have to be at this point. I've learned in my own personal growth journey that personal growth doesn't work like that. I may find a rabbit trail to go down of something that I didn't expect, or my life circumstances might change, or, I don't know. Things change, things happen, mom life, right? So I have sort of that rough plan in place, but it's those action steps. If I can give you one piece of advice, if you took one thing away from this video, it's you need action steps for your personal growth goals. I can't just say, in January, I want to have a more abundant mindset in December and expect it to magically happen. If you are thinking to yourself, Sharon, well, that's manifesting. Not really. I do believe you can manifest your future, but I also believe that you can help the universe by taking concrete action towards your goals. That's what we want our kids to see. That's what we want them to model. And creating those action plans are what is actually going to move the mark so much faster. I can't help but wonder if I had discovered this idea of action plans sooner, where I would be right now. Like, I'm so glad I discovered them when I did, but how much further along would I have been if I had started this at 20, 25, 30 even? I think I just got started with it when I was 30. So cool idea, cool concept. I would love to know what your personal growth goal is this month, or actually this year. So feel free to drop that below in the comments. If you want, I would love to kind of workshop some action steps with you. So include those below and we'll chat. And then if you like this video and are curious to hear more from me, you can subscribe using the subscribe button below, and feel free to like this video to help other busy moms find me so that we can support one another and build each other up. All right, that is it for today. Keep growing, mama. Don't forget, little eyes are watching. Have a good day.